Have you heard about Pellé's hairs? So it's this thin filament of lava. Therefore, when lava is falling over an edge and the wind is blowing, you can find this kind of formation. They cool down very quickly and look like hairs. And in reality, you can't really find them because they're very brittle. So they're going to turn into dust very quickly soon after the formation. In the channel behind, you can see that the lava starts to cool down. You can see it because it's already getting darker, but it's also slowing down, like over here. But inside, it's still very hot and liquid. And that's because lava, it's cooling down over the edge of the floor. And by doing so, it's actually insulating the lava flowing inside it. So in nature, in the open, lava is losing around 100 degrees Celsius every kilometer it's flowing. But when traveling under its own insulation, like it's doing in the channel at the moment, it's just losing 1 degree. So it can stay hot for a very long time and travel very long distance underneath. So I have some ice. You want to see what's happening if I put it on top?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm going to put the ice on top. The lava is going to cool down very quickly. And when lava is cooling down very quickly, there is no time for crystal to appear inside the lava. And you're just turning the lava into what it's most made of. And it's most made of silica, 47%.
Oh.
So you're just turning the lava into a volcanic glass. So what's happening here is some of the steel is going up, but some of it is being pushed and forced inside the lava and make it blow like a balloon. Now that what you could see is just the steam trying to escape. At the same time, lava on top is getting more solid. It's kind of trapped there. Of course, if it's too thin, it might go through, and everything could collapse like a souffle. Now that's what actually we also saw at the start. It went up and down very quickly. And you can see where I put the ice on top. It's turning black very quickly. Just turning into a volcanic glass. And behind, in the channel now, you can really see that the lava is not moving anymore. But like I said, inside, it's still very hot and liquid. So if I go under it and lift it, it's going to start to collapse at the bottom. And that's because the inside didn't cool down as fast as the outside. And here, if I just pick it up, you can see it's still very hot. More viscous, but still very hot. Here. And this is also happening in the front. Let's see if I can just do the same thing in the front. Over here, more solidify on the surface, but underneath, still very hot. And actually, if I go in, lift it, I can do the Pellé's hairs almost like the start. Because in this area, he hasn't lost a lot of temperature. And you see that just by the color. It's still yellow. Yellow is the hottest color of our lava. All the color are pretty hot, of course, but yellow is the hottest one. And then it's going to go from yellow to orange, then to red, and black at the end. And you can see also that it's getting more viscous with the time passing. And now I'm stuck. It's okay. If at least I'm stuck, let's get stuck for real. There you can see. And now actually I can't really lift it. Because it's quite viscous now. Okay. Let's just chill like that. Can you hear the lava making sound? Yeah, so this is just the lava cooling down. And what's happening, it's lava. When it's a liquid, it's taking more space than when it's a solid. So when cooling down, it's actually contracting on itself. But at the same time it's contracting, it's getting more solid. Just making cracks and fissure into it. And that what you can hear, it's just the lava breaking itself apart. And because it's cracking, that's what makes the lava field quite dangerous a long time after an eruption is over. First, you want to touch it? Yes, so in nature, like, because you have more lava, first it's going to take longer time to cool down, and it's going to start to crack. And if you're walking on it, if you're on top of a lava tunnel, for example, it could just collapse. And underneath, it could still be very hot. So that's actually why it's very dangerous to go in the lava field, even a few years after an eruption is over. And if I said that, it's just because you can see a lot of people walking on it, and sometimes the search and rescue team to come and help. So if you go to a uniform lava field, depending on the condition, it could be okay, but just stay on the path. It's not worth it to go on top, at least for a few years after an eruption. And here in the front, so we didn't really get bubbles on this one. You know, it's pretty random. But we got one that just collapsed. But that's not the only place that got lifted. Where I put the ice on top, we also got lifted a little bit. And for example, here I can go through, and underneath this black layer, it's not liquid anymore, but it's still orange red. And that's because even a thin layer of lava, it's enough to insulate the lava flowing inside it. It's the same here, you can see, in this bubble. It's actually still a little bit liquid. Maybe I can lift it a little bit. But yeah, I just broke everything, so my point is not really accomplishing my point. But yeah, so it's hotter inside the bubble. And if I check the temperature where I put the ice on top first, so it's 940 Fahrenheit, 500 Celsius. Well, that's still hot, but way lower than what we had at the start. But if I check in the bubble, it's 660 Celsius, 1230 Fahrenheit, so a bit more. And that's because it was protected by this solidified lava on top. And here, I have some paper, way too many, I just grabbed everything. How many do I have? Yeah, let's just burn everything. Yep. Catching fire pretty quickly. And I have a tip for you to know the temperature of the lava. When lava is above 600 Celsius, 1100 Fahrenheit, that's when the lava is still emitting light. Red, orange, this kind of color. But when it's below this temperature, it's when the lava is taking a dark color. So if you see that lava is still glowing, that's when it's still above 600 Celsius, 1100 Fahrenheit. Is it going to help you to know if you can touch it? Yeah, not really. But that's the tip I got. That shows you something. That shows that even when it's dark, like it is on the surface in some area, it doesn't mean it's cold. It can still be hot and for a very long time. So if you're not sure about the temperature of the lava when going to a lava field, just don't touch it. And I know that looked very obvious, but I was at the eruption last summer, and it was not so obvious for everyone. I just prefer to say it. And here on top, lava is turning into a volcanic glass. And that's because it's cooling down very fast. But if lava would have more time to cool down, we'd have time for crystal to appear inside the lava. And at the end, when the lava would be completely solidified, it would look like this here. So these gray rocks around the slide, it's also basalt, but it's a crystallized basalt. But if I take this rock, put it in the furnace in the back and melt it, you would get out the same way as you just saw. And that's because it's the same composition, it's just a different speed of cooling down. And the black sand we have in the slide here, well, that's what we use first to do the lava, so it's also basalt. But this one exploded on Katla 100 years ago. So all three things, they look completely different from each other, but the same composition. Just a different process of formation. Any questions so far? And if you have a question, just say it. And I love questions, so don't hesitate.
How much does it weigh?
How much it weighs? So our lava is roughly 3 times denser than water. So like 1 liter of lava is around 3 kilograms.
Okay.
American, 3 times denser than water. It will do the rounds. It's just I think it's more funny. We have American, yeah, yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
And but yeah, if you want to have an idea, over here we have around like 40 liters of lava. It's around 10 gallons, and so that's roughly 120 kilogram, 250 pounds.
Wow.
Of lava. And here I just want to try to break the channel in smaller pieces, because I want to show you inside, to show you the insulation working. So yeah, so you can see that it's darker on the outside, but inside it's way hotter. That really shows the insulation.
It's like a well-cooked steak.
Yeah, it's the medium rare. Medium rare. Yeah. Thank you to remind me I'm hungry. Yeah.
Room temperature.
How long before room temperature? So that depends on the thickness of it. But in the thickest spot, huh?
Like this one.
This one, like really, I think like at the center, like we just need like maybe 10 hours. The thing is, I would break it anyway, so it's going to cool down faster. I'm going to show you another piece. I took a bit longer to come on this side, so no, it's at least cooling down on the outside. But in the thickest spot, they measured that it was taking up to 3 days to cool down room temperature in the thickest spot. Yeah, it's already dark now. Let's find another one. And because it can take up to 3 days to cool down, obviously we can't wait that long because you have several show days. So during the show, I'm starting to break it, and smaller pieces release the heat faster. But that's still not enough. So we just have to clean when it's hot. So we just take a big, we just wear big gloves, and with a very high-tech equipment, like a pitchfork and a bucket, we're just going to put all the lava back into big buckets. And generally we leave the buckets in the back, and we use the same lava, not for the next show, but for the one after that.
Oh wow.
We have a few batch of lava, we're just using them one after the other. Yeah, it says it's cooling down very fast. By the time I arrive here, it's very cooling down. And when you look at this volcanic glass, you maybe think about another kind of volcanic glass. Have you heard about obsidian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or dragon glass, or the one that
Yeah.
remember? So obsidian, it's the same thing. Yeah, you had a question, or you were happy about obsidian? Or stretching maybe, sorry. So yes, obsidian is the same thing. It's a lava cooling down very fast. It's just from a different lava. This one here is from basalt, 47% silica. When obsidian is from a lava called rhyolite, and rhyolite is between 65 to 90% silica, so way more. And the main difference is kind of the solidity. Both are very sharp. It's not a problem. When you break this, it's very sharp. But obsidian is way stronger in a way that if you try to shape it, it's a bit like flintstone. You can make something out of it. And that's why a lot of civilization in the past used it for tools and weapons. This one, when it's cooling down, is getting very brittle. So it's actually very hard to do something with it. It's not impossible, it's just way harder. But if you want to say that you saw obsidian today, I'm okay with that. Yeah, almost
So
the same.
what's the? So you said it was sharp. So like.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way to mold it. So like, you could use it for anything.
Like you can't really use it, but first, like no one really is melting lava, so it's quite hard. But now you could try to mold it. The only thing is when it's cooling down, because of the cracking, it might break. There is a big chance of breaking.
Yeah.
So that's why it's quite hard to do something with it. Maybe if you can try to make it cool down a little bit slower, it could be a little bit stronger.
Okay.
But the thing is, this lava, there is too much of all the stuff than silica, and actually make it weaker when it cools down very fast.
Oh wow.
In this shape, oh, that's pretty solid.
Right.
But you have time to make crystal, and crystal actually make the whole thing stronger.
Right.
Obsidian, because it's mostly silica, it's actually stronger than this one.
Do you all use it to look at the sun?
Hmm?
Do you all use it to look at the sun?
No.
Like you can use obsidian to look
Oh,
at
you
the
can.
sun.
Well, maybe if it's very thin, it's I suppose.
It's yeah. It's,
Yeah, but the thing is, right now it's completely dark. But if the bubble, they're very thin, and actually the color is more brownish. And I don't know. I never used it for that, so I will not, without knowing, I will not recommend someone to try.
right.
Yeah.
The Incas used obsidian to look
Okay.
at the sun, like solar eclipses and things.
But when it's a bit brownish, you might just stop a little bit of the sunlight for sure.
keeps the lava from bonding with the sand, or like superheating the sand.
Here? But that's the thing, like, actually some of the black sand, it's sticking to it. Like the part I flipped it over, this is just the sand that remelt a little bit. But the thing is, when the lava is flowing out of the shore, out in the showroom, it's cooling down very fast. And then it's actually still hot, but it's not enough to remelt the sand it's flowing on top of it. So at the start, yes, it's remelting a little bit of it, but then it's not hot enough. Like right now it's still pretty hot, but it's lower than the melting point, so yeah. But some of it's just remelted and stick to it, like over here. Yes?
What temperature is red? Like,
The red is just, the red color is just above 600 Celsius, 1100 Fahrenheit. It's the last color before it's turning black.
is it still really, really hot?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you want,
Don't take a chair.
gonna live longer? It's a test, you know. But no, yeah, that's still very hot, like an oven, or pizza, I don't know, what is it? No, an oven, how much? An oven, like 200 Celsius,
Yeah.
400 Fahrenheit.
There
So
you go.
that's double. It's even more than double that. So
Nice.
no touchy.
Cook my pizza pretty fast.
He would burn your pizza pretty fast. Let's see if I can break it here. So here when I try to break it, I can't be too violent for a very nice reason. It's when I'm too violent, there's risk of piece flying around. And most of the people are in the front row.
Yeah.
2 people don't care, I suppose. But yeah, so I'm not gonna hit it very hard. If it doesn't break, if I do that, I just wait. But here in this area, it's actually thinner. And you can see, you already break very easily. But here in the front, when I did the pancake flip, we have a name for that, it's a pancake flip. And it's thicker, so I will have to wait a little bit before I can break it. I'm waiting for this thing to cool down. Okay, I broke it. It's okay. We are going to talk about my stuff later. Let's flip it over. I think I have a piece here. So you can see here in this area, it was dark on the surface, but underneath it's actually still orange. Try to grab it. Faster. Here. Still orange. So yeah, this one is also very hot.
Yeah.
You also want to touch it? I like to try just to see, you know.
Catch it.
Of course, of course. The guys can catch everything, of course. And I guess if you wonder about what's going on the peninsula, I don't know if you're aware of that we got a few eruptions in the last year between the airport and Reykjavik.
Yeah.
We actually got 7 eruptions. We got one in December 23, and then it's going to be January, February, March, May, August, and November. And all these eruptions are located in the same place. It's basically east of Blue Lagoon and the power station there, and also Grindavik. It's a small town on the south coast that got evacuated more than a year ago. And all this eruption is what we call a fissure eruption. Basically what it is, well, it's a big fissure in the ground, and the lava is going up everywhere, making big lava fountain and lava flow. And this fissure can be pretty big. On the last 7 eruptions, it was between 1 to 6 kilometers long, half a mile to 4 miles long. And that produced a huge amount of lava. To give you an idea, I told you this is roughly 40 liters, 10 gallons. The eruption in May, for example, on the first day, was producing around 200,000 liters of lava every second. So that's 50,000 gallons every second.
Wow.
That's quite a big amount of lava, and because of that, we could avoid some destruction. The one in January destroyed a few houses in Grindavik. The one in February destroyed the access to go to Blue Lagoon, and also a pipe of hot water. And this pipe of hot water was a big problem. It was coming from the power station, and going toward the airport and all the town around it. And in Iceland, we use the hot water for sink, shower, but most importantly, warming up the house. So for a week or so, they didn't get any heating. And at the time in February, it was minus 10 Celsius. American, freaking cold. So after a week, they rebuilt the pipe, water was flowing again. And then the one in March, May, and November also destroyed the access to go to Blue Lagoon. But don't worry so much about Blue Lagoon. They're always rebuilding the road very fast. It's very important to go there. Anyone been there?
Yeah, we went yesterday.
Yeah, well, you came back, that's good. Anyone planning to go? No. But in reality, there is no problem to go to Blue Lagoon because first, the volcano is not on Blue Lagoon. It's east of it. And yes, lava is flowing towards Blue Lagoon. It did it several times already. But it will need a few hours to do so. And that's plenty of time for people to evacuate. And also, for the one that been there, there's big walls around it that they built to protect it from the flow. So these two things together make there is plenty of time for people to evacuate. If not, have you seen Dante speak? Yeah, we have some, 90s. So yeah, it's a movie with a volcano, a hot spring, and people swimming. I'm gonna say one word, lobster.
Yes.
Yeah, for the one that you remember. Yeah. I was very small, I was like. So yeah, no, it's fine to go there also because there is some warning before an eruption. This eruption is not the case of every eruption, but this eruption gives us some warning. And this warning is earthquake. When the lava is going to go from the magma chamber toward the surface, it's going to push a lot of rocks around. And that makes thousands of earthquakes from a few hours to just like 30, 40 minutes before. So as soon as they see this swarm of earthquake, they start to evacuate. And they did it on the previous eruption without any problem. So no problem.
So the earthquakes are like small enough that they're small enough you can feel them, but they won't cause destruction on their own.
No, like they're not like so huge one, like not so huge one compared to what you can get around the Pacific, for example, like 5. Well, 5 it's moving. If you're on top of 5 earthquake, you're really kind of shaking a lot.
Right, yes.
But yeah, it's maximum 5, and a lot of like small one up to 5. A lot of 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
But yeah, so for example, in summer 22 mostly, that was this one. We got a lot of earthquake like for a week before the eruption. It was a bit different. And in Reykjavik, we could feel a lot of them.
Yeah.
Everyone was doing the show in Reykjavik, and blah blah, playing lava, and earthquake. So yes. So yeah, but they're not like, we don't get very big one like around the Ring of Fire.
Right.
Because it's not the same kind of earthquake. It's just lava trying to find a way to the surface. It's not tectonic plates colliding, kind of. And also like this eruption, we know we're waiting for the next one. It's not going to be before at least 1 month to up to 2-3 months. And how do we know that? Is because there is another sign, is ground deformation. When this lava pile up in the magma chamber, it's actually making the ground on top of it getting lifted a little bit. And this, we can measure it. And since the end of the eruption in December, beginning of December, we see the ground going up. So we know it's refilling. And then if you compare that to the previous ground deformation of the last 7 eruptions, then you can try to have an idea when it might be full and erupt again. And that's where this like 1 month, I'm not so sure, but 2-3 months more like. It's a big window, but at least I can tell you that tomorrow you should be fine. Someone had a question, I think. I saw, yeah.
So he was asking, this lava, where is that from?
So where is that from? So I would love to tell you that every morning I go with a big bucket to a volcano. That would be amazing. But no, we use this. I'll try to grab somewhere where I'm sure. Yeah, so we use this thing. This? Oh, give me your hand. So this, again you can feel it. This is lava. And we're remelting it. So that's a lava that exploded on a volcano called Katla. If the weather was nice, it's a big mountain over there. And that's a big volcano. It erupted 100 years ago, and the lava exploded in this small particle. And that's what we put in the furnace behind. It's like a big oven. It's not exactly that, but like a big oven. So if you take this at home, remelt it, it's lava again. No difference. Actually, there is one difference by remelting that.
What's the melting temperature then?
It's like, well, I always forget, so it's between 8 and 900 Celsius. And this one, I haven't known Fahrenheit. I'm sorry, but you use a weird stuff. It's not even like, it's a weird equation.
Yeah, it is. It is not an easy equation.
So yeah, between 8 and 900.
Okay.
I don't exactly remember exactly the temperature.
Yeah.
It also depends on exactly what's inside the lava, so it's not always the same.
Right.
So I was just saying that this lava are remelting into the same stuff, except for one thing. And this one thing is toxic gas. When you have an eruption, there's a lot of toxic gas going out. But here you'll be very happy to know, not that you're stuck with me in this room anyway, but there is no toxic gas here. And that's because we use the exploded lava from Katla. So all the gas went out during this explosion. And on top of that, every time we remelt the lava again and again in the back, in the furnace, the gas left just go up and escape the molten lava and the furnace. So we're removing everything. It's a good thing for us because yes, no toxic gas here, but also gassy lava, it's more viscous. It would not flow as good as the one you saw today. It would stay generally more like in this area. That's not what we want. We want it to flow all the way down. But of course in nature, a lot of gas. CO2, for example, or the sulfur dioxide, the rotten egg smell. You can smell a lot around Iceland. Around hot spring, or very reflective if you take a shower. If you took one, I'm not judging. Yes?
Can it still burn like paper like you did?
No, so if I put the paper now, it's still very hot, but it's not going to make a full combustion. I really struggle with this word and I have no idea why. Combustion. It's not going to make a full what, it's going to make smoke. Flame, I have no problem, but the smoke going to trigger the detector.
Yeah.
So I can't put the paper now. Still hot, just not enough to make the flame.
And so when you did it earlier, it's hot enough that it doesn't smoke?
Yeah. It's just because, yeah, like the smoke generally comes from this, when it's not full. I don't know how to say that exactly in English. But yes, so here when it's glowing, it's hot enough to just to turn into flame, there is no smoke.
Right.
Otherwise, it would be a problem because, of course, we have detector in the room
Right.
just for safety, you know,
Yeah.
everything. We'll put some lights on. Any more question? But if no more question, I'm just going to leave you with a fact about lava. Have you seen movie where people are sinking into lava? Like Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
Maybe? Hmm?
Yeah.
Or Anakin.
Yeah, well, it is next to it, but yeah. Oh, the other movie? Yeah. You know, he cut down completely over there. So. But the other movie from the 90s, the same year actually, Volcano, where a big volcano opened in Los Angeles, because why not? Hollywood.
Yeah.
But for me, it's Lord of the Rings. At some point, one character is sinking into lava,
Yeah.
and he's pretty happy about it, if you remember.
Great. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You almost look like, you know, Terminator. Another movie.
Although that wasn't lava.
Exactly, not lava. But yes, I was very happy about it. But in reality, sinking into lava is not very possible. And that's because lava, like I told you before, it's pretty heavy. It can be 3 times denser than water. And we're mostly made of water. So what's going to happen if lava was here, and I would be here? I would just stay on the surface. I don't want to be too graphic about it, but you can imagine what's happening to you over there.
Yes.
Nothing good. Yeah, nothing good. It would never sink. And actually, if you know the heat of lava, it would be technically possible to walk on it. It would bounce a little bit under your feet. Or don't do it, please. Maybe possible is the greatest idea. But if you're going to try, I'm not going to stop you. That's what I call natural selection. Just go for it, and I will watch. And setting yourself in the process, I'm pretty sure, but you will never sink into it.
Wow.
And on that note, thank you very much for coming today. So I hope that you enjoyed the show. If you like, you can review TripAdvisor.